Yo, what's up guys? This is going to be the build guide for my Spark that I've been playing since Incursion League. This thing is really nuts right now during Legion monolith farming, especially on glacials. I'll show you 3 maps at the end. So the 2 main items you're going to need is the Zerphis heart for Soul Eater. So when you use Volspark, you're going to have so many sparks up. And the second mandatory item is going to be a Watcher's Eye, preferably because Spark has a really heavy mana cost. If you could get the lightning damage leeched as mana while affected by your Wrath aura, that way when your sparks hit, you're always full mana and you can continuously cast, especially when you're going to have crazy nuts attack and cast speed with Soul Eater. So you really need the Watcher's Eye and this amulet. I use impulsas just because it's mostly lightning damage is our heaviest hitting element. I also element cold. So, and then the helm enchant, you can either do projectile speed. I like the spark one. It gives you more sparks. Life resist. Fossil craft. Get preferably for whirling blades, I like daggers. I look for something that gives me cold, lightning, chaos, because Zerphis heart gives me a pretty good amount of chaos through Zerphis. So, and then something high attacks per second, good cast speed, good spell crit, spell damage, and then the conversion. Get fingerless gloves, I mean, for more life. You might be able to fit in like the rampage gloves. I mean, just play around with this build. It's really utility wise Spark. You can pick up any item, and I mean, if you can't afford this, there's Victorios, there's a bunch of other options. Boots, I just went for a lot of movement speed. When glacial farming, you just want to be able to do this quickly, so I think it's better than Magic Find. I think speed is the key. The shield, look for spell damage, spell crit, a bunch of life. I got chaos resist on this. Rings, I got a warlords mark. This is not really mandatory. You can get like opal rings for more elemental damage. This one has spell damage on it. Other than that, the Flask Setup, I have my life flask for bleed, vinktars with damage pen, that'll be really good. Lightning damage pen, wise oak. I have my resist balanced perfectly. So when I use Wise Oak, but then when I use Vinktar, I mean, I can get 52 lightning penetration when those flasks are up. Just the Wise Oak, I'm at 40 pen. So then you can use Onslaught or Diamond Flask, and if you can't afford this, this isn't mandatory either, but this is probably your chase unique for this build. I would say if you have 10 Exalt, you would pick up the Soul Ripper. If not, use a Diamond Flask. That's what I was using before I got that. I have my Diamond Flask somewhere right down here. I don't have chill immunity, but I'm just doing glacial farming. You could fit in, get like freeze immunity there. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the items. As far as the skill bar and my gem links, I have Fortify, Faster Attacks, and Whirling Blade. That is going to be your movement skill. But then I also have Flame Dash, Arcane Surge, which gives us spell damage, cast speed, gives us mana regen, and faster casting, and portal support. I'm a big fan of portal, and can zoom in and out of maps with it. Then over here I have precision, wrath, and enlightened. I just picked up a level 4. You don't need a level 4. You can use a level 3. You'll still have plenty of mana. And in the gloves, I have dual golems through my ascendancies, which I'll get to in a second here. I use ice golem for crit and lightning golem for cast speed and attack speed. I link it with minion life and minion and totem resist. And then over here in my boots, I have Herald of Ice and increased area of effect. You might want to drop area of effect if you don't have enough mana, because, I mean, if I take this out, look how much mana I have. I just use increased area of effect for bigger ice explosions. And then I have cast when damage taken, Immortal Call. So when I do get endurance charges in this procs, I'm getting a lot of physical damage and less stuff taken because of that. Okay, and then in the main setup for Spark, and this is what I'm curious to see what you all think, I have Spark linked up with Spell Echo, and then I have faster projectiles, so they travel farther and faster. Faster proj is really good. Increase crit damage, pierce, and added cold. So down here on my tooltip, I have a pretty good amount of cold, really good amount of lightning, and a pretty decent amount of chaos thanks to Zerphis. Alright, so for my skill tree and ascendancy, when I first start any build, I tend to go for elemental or physical immunity. So I would prefer to go for elementalist first. So when you finish Cruel Lab, you should be able, you will be able to pick up elementalist. That'll give you damage pen, Ellie reflect immunity, heralds increase effect. I mean, overall, it's just really great for Spark, as you can see. Shocks can summon up to an additional golem. And then I go Inquisitor, so you can also go, like, I've gone Pathfinder, movement speed, attack speed, flask, I mean, damage, really good. I just like Inquisitor because of the multi, the damage pen, the conk effect, immune to ailments while on concentrated ground, so that's another reason why I don't really need freeze immunity. And then they take more elemental damage, and then I spec into the path here because I think the first 2 Templar nodes aren't bad. I mean, it gives you mana regen and flat life, and then you get 5%, 5%. You could also do the Witch start and pick up those for 28 spell damage, and then you can dip in there. But yeah. So, another chase unique item would be Unnatural Instinct. They're really not that expensive in Legion. Unnaturals are only about 2 exalted. This is insane still, even with the nerf. I mean, you can see what it gives you here. The spell damage, move, attack, cast, everything we would want, and then some. So when you start your tree, you can start by going up towards the Witch, I would prefer, and then try and get like 1 dex piece. You could travel down through here, starting with projectile damage. I also have a Blue Nightmare, which isn't that expensive. That's like under an Exalt, or it's really not much. And then that way you can get power charges on kill. This is a very lazy build. This is a very sit back, relax, cast, get your frenzy charges through the Green Nightmare up here, which is really cheap under an Exalt. So you're going to get your frenzy charges through here, and through here, Frostwalker, and then down here you take this and you get 27% chance to get a power charge. So it's really good. This is why I go Scion. I mean, it's jewel galore. I mean, just so many jewel sockets. Crit multi, life, attack speed with daggers for clear, cast speed, crit multi, life, projectile damage. I mean, there's so many different jewels you can search for. These are like in alchemy. You can look for the heavy enchants. These aren't even that much, so silence, and you can also get hinder. Look for reduced spark duration. Don't try and get a big one, because then that'll make your sparks not last as long. 40% reduced spark duration would really hurt. It'd almost cut it in half. So you want your spark time to be, you want your sparks to be out as long as possible on the field. Bunch of life, resist, spell damage. And then another great reason to play Scion is this Zerphis heart will increase your attribute requirements, so everything's really heavy. So you're going to need a lot of these. So it's like 159 int plus 50% more. You're going to need like 200 some intelligence. And people say, why do you spec down this way? You really need the dexterity. I even have this up here for the dex and the avoiding stuns. I mean, I never get stunned with these. You take both of these, you're never really going to have a they're really never going to stun you. And you get a bunch of dexterity here and here. Flash duration, flash charges gained, mana. You can pick up more life here, more life here. Like this build can easily push 7k life. My level 100 Scion version, I can showcase that in another video. Do T16s, show it off. My tooltip damage is 66 here. With Arcane Surge it's 80, Onslaught it's 90. So that's about where I'm at. Around 90k when I'm buffed up, 90,000. So that's the items, the jewels, the tree. I'll link in the video description below in the video. I'll link the skill tree, the pace bin, the POB that everyone has been waiting for. But yeah, guys, I'll show the build off here. Think we're good to go. So the mandatory items again are the Zerphis and the Watchers for your mana, and the Soul Eater. The Soul Ripper's your chase unique, Unnatural Instinct, the Jewels, the Blue Dream, and the Green Nightmare. The Flasks, I mean, these are pretty cheap, guys. All of this stuff is really not that expensive. Until you get a 6-link, take out added cold. When you get a 6-link, put added cold in. Impulsa's pretty cheap. So Whirling Blades, Volspark, your 2 golems on the skill bar, your portal, and your spark is, I like it on my right click, and then my flame dash, so you can, if you get tired of doing one of the movement skills, you can just rotate between flame dash and whirling blade. It's another great reason to use a dagger. And my ascendancies. So alright guys, let's show this off here and then end the video. It's also getting pretty late here, so not playing the best right now. But the build, it's freaking happy 4th of July, the fireworks sounds. And then use your Volspark wisely if you don't have the Soul Ripper. Again, that's your chase unique. You don't need it though, and I can take it off and showcase that after this run here. So that's basically it. Then you loot. When you pop Volspark, you kill everything, and with Soul Eater lasting 10 seconds, your attack and cast speed go through the roof. And that really pushes out so many sparks. Nothing can withstand that amount of sparkage. And people ask why I don't just play Volspark. You can't rely on Volspark always killing these monsters, and sometimes the leftover rares are pretty tough. This is more mobile, keeps me awake. Some of these other builds that people are playing to use and break open the monsters, they're great, but this build is click heavy. That is one con or a pro depending on your play style. I kind of like all the clicking that this build takes. I'm going to go ahead and full clear while I'm just chit-chatting about the build. Shit, I should have rolled that. Oh well. But just the play style of my build, I get all these charges just through the jewels and the warlords mark on hit ring. So you'll have all the charges just by killing. Nice, easy. You arcane surge, and that gives you a buff. Alright, and that's why I do the boss too. I'll show you guys my Ascendancy tree as well, or I mean my Atlas tree real quick. People are wondering how I sustained glacials. So I ran one there, and just in one map with the sextant here, I got 6 of them back. So 6 for one map, okay, not bad. I'm full up on here, so I started a tab just for these. These sell for a lot of money, so depending on what you want to do, you can full clear the map to get more map drops. That's a good amount of currency. You can sell these in bulk to a good buyer. Also, I prefer to just have a dump tab, so when you're done for the day, you can cipher through all of it. So I'm gonna drop a diamond flask in and take a drink here to showcase that you don't need the Soul Ripper. You just have to time your sparks better. It's still insane. Oh, redemption. Yeah, 6 additional items, screw it. Okay, so you can use Spark right at the start to break free monsters. And basically, you're getting the on-kill effect, so you're getting the souls while breaking them free. You use it again. Once they break free, you use Volspark. And then you just get all your souls back again. And that's it. You just go back around real quick. Everything dies. You loot. There might be some leftovers, but gone in 60 seconds. And that's without a Soul Ripper. Nice and easy. Oh shit. Well guys, I'm gonna end the video on that note. Oh, yep. Easy out. Post, like, subscribe. If you have questions, go ahead and post. Thanks for watching.